next presentation is titled Collaborations for Research and Innovation, Promoting Industry and Academia Partnership Conduciveness of Current Environment in India, presented by Animesh Sinha, Axis, MAB FSI.
Good afternoon to all the dignitaries, academia, and the audience. Good afternoon once again to all the dignitaries, academia, and the audience. I'm Animesh Sinha from Axis, MAB FSI. My topic is collaborations for research and innovation, promoting industry and academia partnership, conduciveness of current environment in India. We shall be talking about contribution and current status of collaboration for research and innovation between the academia and the industry. Medicine and engineering being one of the most important props in the day-to-day life are trailed, current contributions overviewed, and future envisaged. Together, academia and industry are poised to achieve a golden future with collaboration, research, innovation, new exotic products, technology, engineering, medicine, etc. Our most recent memories are of the horror and difficulties due to the COVID situation. Our saviors include the researchers and academia who contributed with innovations, out-of-the-box thinking solutions, which the industry implemented. In this apparently medical field, the IITs of India had a substantial contribution. As per Analytics India magazine, published on 31/7/2021, the article Tech Innovations by IITs in 2021 so far, Debolina Biswas writes, Professor Milind Athre, Dean of R&D at IIT Bombay and team, developed a solution to convert nitrogen generators into oxygen generators to tackle oxygen shortage during the COVID-19 pandemic. It is a joint project between IIT Bombay, Tata Consulting Engineers, and Spantech Engineers Bombay. Professor Suman Chakrabarti, Dr. Arindam Bondal, and the research team at Kharagpur launched a COVID app for the rapid diagnosis of COVID-19. The diagnostic text can make results available within 45 minutes of obtaining the sample through a portable device. To address shortage of oxygen during the pandemic, IIT Kanpur Incubation Center, ESP Nanotech and Jasolab, a portable canister having 10 liters of oxygen compressed in each 180-gram bottle every day up to 600 bottles were prepared. IIT Mandi researchers developed Lakshman Rekha, an AI-driven home quarantine management system for COVID-19 patients. The mobile application constantly monitored and accurately detected the identity of a COVID-19 patient to avoid breach of the assigned geofence. Continuing, the article mentions Dr. Pawan Goyal's team at Kharagpur developed an AI-based system to process Sanskrit texts. The framework based on energy-based models is aimed at making Sanskrit accessible. IIT Madras's product BlockTrack digitizes medical information systems while protecting sensitive personal information and medical records. The project was carried out with CSIR support from Infosys. In June, IIT Madras researchers developed algorithms for drones to help study how fire behaves in space stations, shuttles, and satellites. It can stimulate reduced gravity. It can simulate reduced gravity environments similar to the Moon and Mars, thus recreating those conditions on Earth for experiment. Generating microgravity is almost beyond the reach of most education institutions in India. Researchers to analyze cancer-causing mutations in cells, having an overall accuracy of 89% and ranked second out of 11 prediction algorithms. IIT Ropar developed the country's first of its kind IoT device to record real-time ambient temperature during the transportation of vaccines, blood, organs, and perishable products. Another major contributor, CSIR, is known for its cutting-edge R&D knowledge base. In diverse S&T areas, is a contemporary R&D organization with a pan-India presence. CSIR filed about 225 Indian patents and 250 foreign patents per year during 2015 to 20. CSIR has a patent portfolio of 1,132 unique patents in force, out of which 140 patents have been commercialized. CSIR also has 2,587 in-force patents granted abroad in multiple countries. 144 completed projects are listed on the site. On the anvil are projects on the themes of mining, minerals, metals and materials, that is 4M, ecology, environment, earth and ocean sciences and water, E3OW, aerospace, electronics, instrumentation and strategic sensors sectors, AEISS, energy, conventional and non-conventional, and energy devices, affordable healthcare, agri, nutrition and biotech, chemicals, including leather and petrochemicals, civil infrastructure, and engineering. Thus, we can see that the future is quite rosy. Dr. Babita Ghai, Professor, Department of Anesthesia and Consultant, Pain Clinic, PIMR, Chandigarh, is a clinician, teacher, and researcher, and is a regular presenter of these researches at various fora. I gleaned from her that the relationship between academy and industry is thriving, and one helps the other in India. The process in academic medical institutes having research facilities involves the researcher coming up with an idea that they feel is relevant and the need of the hour. The process of conducting research involves writing a protocol, ethics approval, or any other approval if needed from competent authorities, registering the protocol to one of the WHO approved clinical trial registries, most common being CTRI, applying for funding to either a government agency such as DSIR, ICMR, DST, DBT, etc., or approaching the approved industry. The protocol is screened and assessed by a screening committee or task force of funding agency or industry. And if the idea is approved and the need for research is felt, then the government agency or industry funds the research. That the funding application process to government agency is tedious as compared to applying to the industry. For any researcher in India, availing funding is a major challenge and sometimes a major roadblock or bottleneck for the whole process of research. The collaboration of academia and industry is bilaterally beneficial. And industry might seek a solution for any pressing medical needs, which in their opinion can be solved by a well-equipped research establishment and research team. The outcome of the research leads to, quite often, patenting of procedures, equipments, or medicines. The financial benefit accruing is shared as per the MOU or agreement signed at the start of the research. Dr. Ghai informed that medical research in India is a sought after option. The well-equipped and well-funded facilities in the rich Western countries do not have the volumes that the hospitals and researchers in India have. The number of patients investigated by a doctor in India would be as much as 10 times that of those investigated by a doctor in a Western setup in a given unit time. At any given moment, a number of researches are simultaneously being, a new medicine or equipment would have been newly developed, or a prototype or more affordable equipment or medicine developed by a company. This newly developed prototype would need lab testing first, and then the testing on human or patients after the required due diligence. Academic and research institutes like PGIMR, AIMS, JIPMR conduct such clinical trials as per established stringent norms and procedures. And finally, the new developed product is patented and marketed, which the medical world accepts without any problems. However, it may be conceded that sometimes the decision of approving the research takes such a long time that either the originator of the idea gives up or goes to an external agency for funding, and worse, someone else had a similar idea and the research comes up ahead of this person. A major factor in research is the salary or compensation to the researchers. My conversation with a few stalwarts reveals that the compensation to a research scholar in the US is about 6 times what a research scholar in India gets based on the purchasing power parity. Suyash Gupta, PhD, UC Davis, MS Purdue, IIT Madras, Computer Science, wrote on Quora on 9/7/15 on funding. Pursuing my PhD in US and my stipend will be a dream for an Indian scholar. See, dream for an Indian scholar. This is just the student funding. Most of the professors in USA are so self-reliant that they fund their students. While in India, professors depend on the government. Yes, nowadays a change of scenario is occurring at top multinationals as top multinationals are funding the professors, but this sum is a meager in front of their counterparts in US. The same funding is required for buying laboratory equipment to run simulations, to fetch data sets, and so on. In reply to what are the unexplored areas or facilities that an academic researcher looks forward to, the opinions are best summed up by Dr. Sumit W. Gondmode, Associate Professor, Mumbai. Genetics, artificial intelligence, microsensors and robots, new age medicine, latest viral control vaccine. Artificial intelligence has grown aggressively in medical science and genetics. It has a vast knowledge accumulation for clinical diagnosis and practical treatment opinions and options. Today, human error elimination is based on one's own experiences, but accumulation of pool of experiences of clinicians across the globe for any single procedure has changed the way we think and reduces the error in making decisions. Now, an opinion from the other side. A PhD researcher from Delhi says, I personally look forward to a better planning and structure of projects given to a PhD student, more involvement and guidance by the supervisor. I personally have encountered that purchasing a particular instrument or machine or even a small chemical takes enormous time to finally reach to you. So there is a huge delay as it is dependent on different government procedures like tenders, quotations, plus the administration staff. That affects the time required to finally get the research out. So in summary, I would say that the collaboration between the academia and industry is essential. It is going forward at a great pace. Great changes are required, but we have a rosy future ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Animesh. Would now request Dr. Geeta to present her thoughts on the paper, please.
Wonderful, Mr. Animesh. I put all in one gist about the research and innovations happened recently with the IIT graduates who went into research and as well as on the medicine side. My one question is, since the IIT graduates are less than 12,000 per year. So what about this research and innovations where the majority of other institutions, how much they are contributing, especially in India? If you take biotech, once upon a time, it was very much boomed and now slightly dipping side because we don't get potential job over in India and people has to fly to especially Europe countries to get more exploration and all those stuff. And very less job opportunity in India. So one of the greatest challenge to Indian students who wants to aspire into the research side is, as you mentioned in your PPT itself, the stipend is very less. So out of all these things, what is your perspective on how the other institutions can put themselves into this board? To the research and innovations board, and how a common man can be can get the impact or can get the benefits out of this innovations. Just I want your perspectives.
My perspective, madam, is that the common man is already getting the. It is started in India that the common man is getting the benefit. See, that is why I started with COVID. In the COVID, the common man was affected. We have seen people struggling and dying on the streets because of lack of oxygen. and see how the people have come up with the canisters and turning nitrogen facility into oxygen. On the other hand, whenever you read the papers, every now and then, at least twice a month, I would say, there is some project is handed over to IISc Bangalore or to some IITs, because it has now somehow, I would feel that the common man and the industry, as well as everybody concerned, is now having more and more faith on our own ingrown. Otherwise, we were all jingoistic all the time, thinking that only the West is going to give us any benefit. Anything coming from the West is good. That anything Indian is bad. But now our industry is standing on its own 2 feet. You see, the most of the, like you rightly said, madam, most of the persons in America who have made lots of innovations and things, many of them are basically from India. It is the Indian IITs, the Indian medical colleges which have produced these guys. They have gone abroad and they have succeeded there mainly because the funding. It is mainly the funding and the attitude over there. And that is why the research scholar who has told me, she did not want to be named for obvious reasons. We have got our own feet of clay. We have got red tape. We have got delays, and funding is definitely a problem. But you see, now we have got Startup India. Recently, what has happened? We have seen that our cars could not be produced because of this problem of chips. What is the government of India doing? They have started and they have said, okay, fine, set up the industry. There is 1,000 per, if I remember correctly, from the newspaper. They have said, okay, 1,000 per, get a startup industry. We'll support you. So you see, India has started looking inward and giving the solutions. And my batchmates who had gone, my classmates who had gone to the USA, they are well old as per our standards. But there are people who are returning back to India and saying, okay, let me get and see what I definitely. Researcher was looked upon as a, in my generation, when I was looking for a job, a researcher was a person who did not get a job anywhere. He was a deadweight of the society, became a researcher. But now you see there is respect for them. Their innovations are, their industry is going to these people and saying, okay, give us a solution, whether it is medicine, economics, or anything. The politicians are saying, okay, let's go to the academia and talk to them and let them give us a solution. So there is a major change in opinion, and funding has started flowing in. It will take time. We are not USA. I agree, we are not USA. We cannot become USA overnight. But I have got great faith in the Indian system, and with education really becoming a mass product. At IITs, yes, you said only 12,000 people are coming out of the IITs, but you have BITS Pilani also. You have the CLRIs. See, I talked about CSIR also. Because of the shortage of time, I cut off totally what CSIR has done. You see how many world patents they are having. CSIR is a government agency. India has the potential to go ahead and do something and make version.
So thank you, Mr. Animesh. Thank you, Dr. Geeta.